Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us here on Prime Morning. And we're getting into our next conversation. Make sure that you're tuning to all the other programs that we've got for you here on the channel. And so we're going to be talking about comedians moving forward. But last week we had the Comedy Awards, and we had some very, very, excellent, let me put it that way, excellent comedians picking up awards. Some performed, on a more serious note, won an award and all of that, And so today we decided that we'll put some of the comedians on spotlight and ask them a few questions. And guess who's here with me in the studio? MJ the comedian. This is one man that single-handedly organizes millions of people just to come and wear dashiki, And it's incredible the way you do this. How many years now?
This year is 9 years, but it was supposed to be 11 years, if not for COVID.
Yeah,
so
I remember
because of COVID, we went on hibernation for 2 years. So, yeah. And then we resumed again. So this is the 9th edition. This year will be the 9th edition.
Damn.
And hopefully next year we'll celebrate it bigger.
That'll be the 10th anniversary.
I mean...
was it the opening one that I was part?
You were part of the third one.
The third one, right?
Yes, third one.
Oh, man.
You got stressed up.
At the point I got tired and I said, no, I'm not doing this again. But commanding all these people, you can just wake up one day and say that, I want 100,000 people to meet me here and wear dashiki, and then they will show up. The day you wake up and say, I want 500 people to meet me here and they don't show up, what is going to happen to you?
I mean, nothing will happen to me. It's normal. Just like our politicians would always presume they may win the election, and then you usually would have a stronghold, and sometimes they wouldn't come out for you due to certain things. So just like a politician, you always have to do the right thing at the right time.
If it continues for 3 years, would it put you in a certain mental state of mind that I've made you guys laugh, I've made you guys enjoy all the beautiful moments? Just come out for me in 3 years. Nobody seems to even think that I exist as a comedian.
What I'm doing right now is not just as a comedian. This is a tradition. This is something that even if today I'm no more, my group would continue with it. It's not something that is basically for me, even though I brought the idea and everything. Now it's for the communities, for the people. And sometimes these are the same people who will even be pushing you to bring the dates and everything out as soon as possible. They know what they get. They know the benefit they get. Because at the end of the day, the community is able to get some revenue through selling and everything, and then bringing people around the activities and things. Those times during 1st July, most of the kids will go to the beach, and then we hear these casualties and things. But at the end of the day, I brought this thing, and it has solved some society cancer.
When it comes to that.
You understand? So this is not something that looking at the future that is going to be something bad. Because at the end of the day, solving a problem, and parents are involving themselves. So basically, it's going to get growing each year, because you can see the numbers. The very first year you came, you saw the numbers. They were huge, but afterwards, it became massive. So as time goes on, I believe the people are buying into the idea, and then they are seeing the benefit of it. So to say they will pull out, they can be.
Okay. I understand Funny Faces on the other side as well. We're going to find out from him. If I'm able to get to him, I'll ask him a few questions about what he thinks about the comedians and how they'll be able to make people happy. But unfortunately, they don't get that. And that's another thing that it's leading into the conversation. That's the reason why I'm asking you all these things. Because sometimes Robin Williams actually died in situations like these. You make people happy, you don't get happy, and all of that after all these years. Funny, if you can hear me, what's up?
Hello, with you.
I hope you're good.
My God's grace,
Okay. I know you've been through phases. I mean, no doubt about it. Everybody knows about the journey so far. Right now, what would you describe your mental state of mind now? Have you relaxed? Are you the funny face now?
Of course. Just like when you go through something and you get your second chance to come back, you still need the old you. So I'm the same funny face.
let's talk about the things that you do for people. Kids love you. Everybody loves you. But do you sometimes get that love back when you're alone? Do you happy yourself, or do you get people making you happy?
Of course. I would say, what you put out in the system, that's what you get in the end. In my case, I'm not speaking for everybody, I'm speaking for myself. Like my case, what I put in the system, so my God, I just like every human, it's like sometimes things don't go the way it plans and they go somewhere, but talent is life. But for me, I think what I put in the system, I got it back. People each then, but everything for it.
And it's believed that comedians don't get what the happiness they give to people. Do you believe in that?
No, I don't. Even though it is, but I don't. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking for everybody. I'm using myself as a case study, like me.
Yeah.
I'm looking for expenses that are being true. Yeah, I got everything back. I got I got it back. Talent is life, man. One or two things that I did, which I do now. So, yeah.
All right, stay on for me. But I think we're having a bit of difficulty in hearing you clearly. But do you also believe?
Yeah, so excuse me. But you can't say I'm at now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the network, the
network is behaving like you. Previous you, don't worry. It's behaving like you before. But I'll come back to you in a bit, my brother. Stay on with me. Comedian MJ is also here with me. MJ, how do you guys walk through depression?
Depression itself, I've witnessed it. My dad growing up, my dad was depressed and a whole lot of things. So I understand people who are in those situations. And sometimes, me as a comedian, sometimes it's not all that we put out there is all that is that we are actually. Because sometimes it's very difficult to open up to people, because sometimes you open up to someone and they think probably you are dropping a joke.
When you're actually talking serious
you are talking about serious issues, you understand. And that's where close people, extremely close people have to be very mindful of as people they deal with us as comedians, as entertainers. They should be able to draw that thin line between we being the funny S and then being the serious S, because sometimes it gets very sad when you are trying to really express yourself, and sometimes you wouldn't even talk. There are some things you do that the people around you should be able to notice that no, everything is not right. They should be able, and it's not just for me. Some of my colleagues too, most of them would also go, and majority of those depression is because of money. It's because of money. Honestly, most of my colleagues, those times like whilst we were trying to make our industry a very nice place, lucrative place, a lot of people, my colleagues wanted to even stop doing it because we weren't getting what we were investing in, our time, the money, and everything. But as at now, those who are really depressed that I know in my 18, they are not, like, they are now okay. Because now at least we get...
You guys used to have that conversation.
Yeah, we talk.
Conversation
we
about
talk.
yourself.
Sometimes we don't go that deep, but when you bring up you bring up the topic, right? You bring up the topic. We all know where you are heading to. Because sometimes myself, Juarez, Putogo, and the rest will be going out to share flyers. And you go to Osu, you share flyers to someone, you check it, you say, meaning, so it's a comedy show, you say, Shatawale Baba.
You understand? The premium on Shatawale more than you who's putting on the act.
You understand? You say, no, you say, oh, I'm not coming. I mean...
That can be heartbreaking.
I mean, you'll be doing all this work. We'll be working, trying to get people to come watch us. At least, those times, we're not taking money. Come and laugh at us. We use our own money to even print flyers. Come and share it with you. So we'll get to a point, we'll sit down to have conversation. Challenge because we've been educated, our family and everyone is looking up to us so that we can also bring something back home. And this is what you guys throw at us. But then growing in the industry, I feel those things prepared us to get to where we are. You understand? So it's quite weird. And the difficult part is when situations hit you up and you have performances to make.
That's a difficult moment.
I remember sometimes I had to perform at a church. I've been paid already. And I was backstage. I was about going on stage. And my kid brother called me that time my dad was sick, so they had rushed him to the hospital. I mean, I had that feeling, that mindset. I was also thinking about my dad, me being the firstborn, you know, the responsibilities and everything. And I had just some few minutes to go on stage too. I need to be able to decipher between me being a comedian and me being a human, you get me? And it's sad, but as a soldier, you should always prepare for war. I mean, you wouldn't say that, oh, I didn't prepare, and that's why when Ukraine came, they were able to win Russia, or Russia win. You should always prepare for it. So moments like that, professionalism, and then how matured you are in the... It doesn't also mean if you are not able to withstand it, you are not matured. They are like everyone and how they deal with situations. Some people can actually break down and not go on the stage, for example. But then it's your work and needs to be done. People are waiting for you. What are you going to tell them? And sometimes we being humorists, we sometimes would pick those pains and then go and laugh at the pains. So Jacinta came on Lexi's show. She had an accident, right? And she came with a stool. They pushed her on stage. She came to sit, and then she was cracking jokes, telling them that she had an accident. They were laughing at it. Because
a serious issue for that man.
You get me? Yeah. It was a serious accident, you get me? But that's our job. We make you laugh at our pains. Sometimes we tell people stories. They feel it's illusional, things that are not real. But sometimes we tell you our stories so that at least we can feel free. And people feel very emotional when you talk about their story, but they are very comfortable when you
talk about your own story. And I think that Kevin Hart has done so many of that in his comedy stand-ups as well. Funny.
Hello.
Yeah, Funny. Before mostly you go on stage, do you sometimes feel that there's that huge burden on you that people may not laugh at your jokes and it may put you in a certain mental state of mind?
No. Just like my boy is saying, shout out to my boy.
No more.
Yeah. Just like he's saying, that's one real dude right there, MJ. The truth is that Showstopper is a star. I used to have been through. Recently, just like you said, laugh at my pain. When you use your story as a comedian, people are it's more relatable, and you can also use more to talk about because it's your story. And especially in my case, let me use myself again, like I said, this I'm using myself, I don't want to talk about somebody's own, that I don't know the nitty-gritty of it. I'm talking about the nitty-gritty of mine. What is it? In my case, for instance, recently, psychiatric, they are going to do speech about giving day. They call me to come and do speech. For what? For what?
You're one of them. You used to be one of them.
You understand?
Yeah.
So something like this, it's a real story, right?
Yeah.
So why and you are talking about MJ said, people will be laughing, but it's a true story. You understand? So I write on like my life story now, what has happened. So I don't have that say, oh, you go on stage and people will laugh. Because for me, it's all over the place. It's a sign. So everybody knows it. So And I'm happy people are giving mental health, like, especially when people are talking about it, for people to know that, oh, listen, it can happen to anybody. You can go through it. It's normal. There are people who are important, guys, who are not mentally that thing. Understand?
Yeah. Okay.
So you can go through all these things and not even knowing. Now that people are giving mental health, some attention, I'm happy about it. And for me, I don't have that stage frights or people not laugh when I go on stage.
Okay.
Not happy to me.
Okay, I understand that we have Lexi also joining us via Zoom. Let me see if I can engage him for a couple of minutes. Lexi, how are you doing? Unmute your microphone so that I can hear you.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, quickly, how do you walk yourself through pains or depressions as a comedian?
This question, eh? Okay. When I'm happy, I have sex. When I'm sad, I have sex.
When you're happy, you what? You do what?
I have sex. Good sex.
That's what helps you in depression?
Yeah, good therapy.
So when was the last time you did this? Or when was the last time you were depressed and you had sex?
I think after the last time was COVID.
The last time was COVID. Okay, and when you don't get that, what do you replace with the sex?
I watched the dollar against the city.
Okay, that's a comedian right there. I understand. But have you had to deal with a situation like that for a long time?
Yeah, but yes, but thank God I had a support system. Every time I keep saying that every comedian or everybody needs a clique of friends who share the same energy, who can actually tell that something is off about you. Those people, when you're around them, their energy resonates with you. No matter how low you feel you are, when you get close to them, they are able to spark that thing in you. So big ups to the kind of boys like I have around me, the likes of the Obian Ponsa, the Papaya, the Kojo PJs, the old rules, and so it like. And a lot of the time, I take pleasure in working. The more I work and I see the people happy, I feel like, okay, I'm doing something right. So it takes away that kind of thought away from me, Okay. But it's not an easy thing to be a comedian, because when people meet you every time, they are expecting you to be their source of happiness. Nobody thinks of how they can make you happy. There are days that you'll be walking in town when you are at the lowest point in your life, and somebody will randomly see you and go like, yo, bro, Charlie, say something, make her laugh. How can an unhappy comedian make the other man laugh?
Okay.
That is what you signed up for, so
you have to still go ahead and do it.
You have to do something.
Okay.
But as I said, as a comedian or any entertainer or even you KMJ, we all need to build a unit of people that one way or the other can read the room and say that, okay, now the KMJ I know every time. It's not the same KMJ I'm feeling today. Sometimes you can be smiling, but you can tell.
Yeah,
everybody thinks you're okay.
Lexi, because of our time, we're going to end here. But I understand that you'll be in town in a couple of weeks or days. So if you come, we'll have a studio conversation so that we can speak more.
But before I leave, a big shout out to Ghana for crowning me the best comedian of the year. I think last Saturday. Big ups, my team, Bonda, Eric Tosca, Alexander Fifia Beckham.
And everybody, congratulations to
everybody,
you. Go enjoy your sex life. Go enjoy your sex life. Funny Face, thank you so much for joining this morning. I'm expecting you in town as well, so we can also continue this conversation here in the studio. And thank you so much, MJ, for coming. I'm sure we're going to be talking about Ashiki in a couple of weeks as well. My costume is by Habils Couture. You can find them on social media. It's Habils Couture _GH. You can also call them 0200 84 1988 and speak to them. them. Many thanks to you for watching. Myself, Rosalind Felling, of course, is here with the Golden Girl. We are back again on Monday at 6 a.m. right here. Many thanks to the production team. Until then, please enjoy your weekend.
Okay, I'm